Today, I'm doing a 10-year rebuild of the Montreal Canadiens. I'm taking over as GM for the next 10 seasons, and I'm going to get this team another Stanley Cup. But in order to rebuild this team, we're going to have to make some tough moves. So Carey Price, you've done great things for this franchise, but I'm going to send you to Arizona, along with a 6th and another player for Louis Eriksson, a 1st and a 3rd. I'm taking on Louis Eriksson's contract for this season, and we have to get our 1st rounder back because we're going to suck this year. And then Shea Weber, you're off to Ottawa, along with a 2nd and a 3rd for Thomas Chabot. Romanov, I'm going to give you a 7-year extension worth $4.3 million per year. Petrie, you're off to the Islanders for Sorokin and Clutterbuck, and then Josh Anderson, you're going to Columbus for a 3rd and a 4th. So with those moves made, I'm going to simulate through the first 10 games, and we'll see how this team's looking. Through the first 10, we're not looking too bad with a 5-5 record. Over the next 15, we were sitting around the 500 mark once again with an 8-7 record, and we currently have a 13-12 record. Through 50 games, things aren't looking good, but that's good for us because we want a good draft pick. 21, 26-4, 5th in the Atlantic and 23rd in the entire league. Nick Suzuki's leading the way with 11 goals and 33 helpers for 44 points. Mike Hoffman's coming in second with 16 goals and 21 assists for 37 points, and Cole Caulfield's going to round out the top 3 with 11 goals and 22 helpers for 33 points. Romanov's leading our defense with 22 points, consisting of 9 goals and 13 assists, while Sorokin's picked up 17 wins with a 903 save percentage and a 316 goals against. Before we get to the trade deadline, I'm going to make some aggressive moves here. Niku, I'm going to give you an 8-year deal worth $1.2 million, and Clegg, I'm going to give you an 8-year deal worth $2 million per. 8 years for $2 million per year. The reason I'm giving such long deals is I'm hoping these guys can fill out the bottom defensive pairing, and for $1.2 million and $2 million respectively, those are going to be some great contracts for us. So with those 2 signings made, I'm going to simulate up to the trade deadline, and we'll see what moves we have to make. Over the next 12 games, this team was doing better than I expected with a 7-4-1 record, but we got to sell because we're clearly not going to win a championship. So Gallagher, you're off to the Ducks for a 2nd, a 3rd, and a prospect. Savard, along with 2/3, is also going to the Ducks for a 1st rounder, and then Mike Hoffman, 2 4ths, a 3rd, and a 5th is off to the Rangers for a 1st and Barclay Goodrow. With those moves made, we're simming to the end of the season and hoping we finish dead last. When the season came to an end, the Canadiens are finishing with a 38-39-5 record, 5th in the Atlantic and 23rd in the entire league. Suzuki led the way with 69 points, consisting of 15 goals and 54 assists, while Drouin's picking up 24 goals and 34 assists for 58 points, and Caulfield's going to round out the top 3 with 23 goals and 34 assists for 57 points. Romanov's picking up 35 points while leading the defense with 11 goals and 24 assists, and Sorokin's picking up 32 wins with a 908 save percentage and a 302 goals against. Connor McDavid led the entire league in scoring with 40 goals and 59 assists for 99 points. Giroux's coming in second with 41 goals and 55 assists for 96 points, and Ovi's rounding out the top 3 with 46 goals and 48 assists for 94 points. Drew Doughty's going to lead all defensemen with 19 goals and 59 assists for 78 points, and Darcy Kemper's picking up 48 wins with a 916 save percentage and a 239 goals against. When the playoffs came to an end, the New York Rangers are beating the Edmonton Oilers in 5 games. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, we're going to finish with the 10th overall pick. We had 10 picks in the draft, but we had to make a few trades. I'm trading the 10th overall and the 74th overall along with 2 of our prospects to Minnesota for a 6th, and then the 18th, the 32nd, a future 5th, and Edmondson is off to Seattle for the 9th. With the 6th overall pick, I'm going to be selecting Connor Geekie. With the 9th overall pick, I'm getting Brad Lambert, and then another notable rookie is going to be a medium-elite potential goaltender. In the re-sign phase, I'm going to sign some of our rookies and qualify a few RFAs. Primu, I'm going to give you $1.1 million per year for the next 4 years, and Cole Caulfield, I am certainly not giving you $17 million per year. You had 57 points and you want $17 million. At this point, I might trade you. Goudreau, you're off to the Ducks for a 5th and a 7th. Joel Armia, a 5th and a 6th, is off to Arizona for a 7th. And then Perron's coming here on a 1-year deal worth $5.2 million. Strome, $4.8 million per year for 3 years. Campbell, 5 years at $5 million. Majapani, $5.3 million per year for 3 years. Campbell, I'm going to flip you to Minnesota for Manson, a 4th and a 5th. Jake Allen's off to Boston for a 3rd and a 4th. Larson, $2.3 million per year for 3 years. Copley, $1.3 million per year for 1 year. Rodriguez, $2.8 million per year for 3 years. Athanasiou, 3 years at $2.3 million per. Nick Cousins, 2 years at $1.2 million. And Nemestikov, $2.2 million per year for 1 year. So we have one more season of tanking. The young core is slowly developing, and we have tons of cap space to make some moves. But ideally, we finish dead last because I want Connor Bedard. So once again, we're going to simulate through the first 10 games and see how this team's looking. Through 10 games, we're doing better than we did last year with a 6-4 record. But over the next 15, reality set in as we went 3-8-4, and we're currently sitting at a 9-12-4 4 record. On our way to the 50 game mark, Cole Caulfield finally realized his true worth, and we're going to get him at an 8-year deal worth $5.6 million per. At the 50 game mark, things are looking fantastic. 17, 27, and 6th, 8th in the Atlantic, and 29th in the entire league. That's what I was aiming for. Ryan Strom's leading the way with 33 points consisting of 8 goals and 25 assists. Cole Caulfield's coming in second with 14 goals and 16 assists for 30 points, while Drouin's picking up 11 goals and 19 assists for 30 points. Chabot's leading the defense with 5 goals and 25 assists for 30 points. And Sorokin's picked up 13 wins with a .912 save percentage and a .273 goals against. So as this team continues to tank, we're going to simulate to the trade deadline, and over these next 12 games, I'm hoping we lose every single one. And we definitely didn't lose every single game, but we actually went 500 going 6-3-3. So clearly we gotta sell a bit of the farm. So Perron, you're going to Vegas for Nolan Patrick, and Dvorak, you're going to go to the Penguins for a 5th and a 7th. And then Patrick, I'm going to give you a 7-year deal worth $3 million per. With that move in the books, I'm going to simulate to the end of the season, and we're going to get the first overall pick. So I don't know what happened over the last how many games, 36, 35, and 11, 6th in the Atlantic, and 24th in the entire league. I don't know how we got better. Suzuki led the way with 62 points consisting of 16 goals and 46 assists. Strom's coming in second with 14 goals and 38 assists for 52 points, and Caulfield's rounding out the top 3 with 24 goals and 26 assists for 50 points. Chabot led the defense with 31 points consisting of 6 goals and 25 assists, while Sorokin's picking up 25 wins with a .922 save percentage and a .240 goals against. Steven Stamkos was tied for first in points with 110, consisting of 45 goals and 65 assists, and Kucherov, he also had 110 points, but he had 44 goals and 66 assists. And Crosby, he wasn't too far behind, only 1 point behind, with 43 goals and 66 assists for 109 points. Cale Makar led all defensemen in points with 5 goals and 69 assists for 74 points, while Tristan Jarry's picking up 43 wins with a .929 save percentage and a .206 goals against. In the playoffs, the Washington Capitals would win the Stanley Cup over the Colorado Avalanche in 6 games. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, we're actually going to be dropping in the lottery as we're getting the 10th overall pick once again. We had 11 picks in the draft, and our most notable prospects were a low elite potential defenseman, a low elite potential left winger, and a low elite potential right winger. So like usual, we're signing rookies and qualifying RFAs. In free agency, we're not going to be making too many moves. Tarasenko's going to come here for 2 years at $7.5 million. Perron's coming back on a 1-year deal worth $3.7 million, and Sorokin, he's going to get a 7-year extension worth $8 million per. I think this team's headed in the right direction. I don't think we're true cup contenders yet, but the future's looking bright. And before we get into this season, I'm making a massive move. Rodriguez McNabb in 2 seconds is off to Columbus for Patrick Laine. So I was about to offer Laine a contract, but he wants way too much, and I'm willing to hold out, and I will wait till December 1st to sign him. But we're not going to wait for Laine. We're going to go ahead and simulate through the first 10 games and see how this team's looking. Through the first 10, we're fantastic with a 7-2-1 record. Laine saw how good we were doing, and he decided to sign a 1-year deal worth $5.6 million. Through the next 15, this team was unstoppable, going 11-1-3, and we're currently sitting at an 18-3-4 record. Through 50 games, we're one of the best teams in the league, 32-13-5, second in the Atlantic and second in the entire league. Tarasenko's leading the way with 54 points consisting of 28 goals and 26 assists. Ryan Strom's actually tied with Tarasenko with 11 goals and 43 assists for 54 points, and Mangiapane's doing his thing with 14 goals and 29 assists for 43 points. Chabot's leading the defense with 30 points consisting of 9 goals and 21 assists, while Sorokin's picked up 22 wins with a .913 save percentage and a .253 goals against. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate up to the trade deadline, but I don't want to make any massive moves because I just don't think our team can win yet. Over the next 13, our team struggled going 5-7-1, and I want to make one move, which is sending Athanasiou to the Penguins for a 3rd and a 5th. With that move in the books, I'm simming to the end of the season, and we'll see how we're looking. When the season came to an end, we finished out strong with a 49-25-8 record, 2nd in the Atlantic and 2nd in the entire league. Tarasenko led the way with 86 points consisting of 43 goals and 43 assists. Strom's picking up 15 goals and 65 assists for 80 points, while Cole Caulfield's going to pick up 64 points, 33 goals and 31 assists. Thomas Chabot led the defense with 46 points consisting of 13 goals and 33 assists, while Sorokin picked up 35 wins with a .911 save percentage and a .262 goals against. Leading the entire league in points was the duo in Edmonton, Draisaitl 110 points, 49 goals, 61 assists, and McDavid 110 points, 46 goals and 64 assists, while Mitch Marner's rounding out the top 3 with 24 goals and 75 assists for 99 points. Cale Makar once again is leading all defensemen in points with 74, consisting of 13 goals and 61 assists, while Jordan Binnington's picking up 41 wins with a 918 save percentage and a 261 goals against. With Montreal finally making the playoffs, we're going to be matching up against the Toronto Maple Leafs in round 1. So game 1 was an absolute blowout. Montreal's picking up 10 goals, and I don't think there's any team that can bounce back from that, especially the Leafs. But the Leafs are answering in game 2 with a 7-5 win to even up the series. A late push from Montreal isn't enough in game 3, and the Leafs are taking a 2-1 series lead. A 3-0 lead in the third period is going to be too much to overcome, and Montreal is going to even up the series. A Nedeljkovic shutout is putting Toronto one game away from the second round, but Montreal is avoiding elimination in game 6 with a 6-4 win. But in game 7, a 4-2 Toronto win is completing the upset over the Montreal Canadiens. When the playoffs came to an end, Edmonton's defeating Toronto in the Stanley Cup final in 6 games. Patrick Laine led the way for us with 7 goals and 4 assists for 11 points. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, San Jose is going to jump from 2-1 and win the lottery. We had 14 picks in the upcoming draft, but our best prospect ended up being a low elite potential defenseman. It wasn't a great draft for us, so like usual, I'm going to sign the rookies and qualify some RFAs. And now we got to make some big signings. Laine, I'm going to give you $10.4 million per year for the next 8. Lambert, $6.5 million per year for the next 8. Larson, $4.3 million per year for the next 6. Tarasenko, I'm going to send you to Vegas for 2 first-round picks, but there's a reason for that. I need to clear up cap space for David Pastrnak, and he's coming here for the next 7 at $10.3 million per. And with one of the first-round picks I acquired from Vegas, I'm going to send it to Arizona for Soderstrom. Manson, you're going to Vegas for a 2nd and a 3rd, and then I'm going to sign Duclair to a 5-year deal worth $5 million per. Mangiapane, you're off to the Stars for a 3rd and a 4th, and then Strome, 2 seconds, a 1st and a prospects off to Nashville for Kupanen. I'm going to give Jordan Eberle a 1-year deal worth $3.7 million per, and then Mike Hoffman's going to finish off free agency on a 1-year deal worth $800K. So we definitely saw some progress from this team last season. It's time to capitalize on that momentum and make a deep run in the postseason. Also, if you've made it this far into the video and haven't already, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subs by the end of the month, and every single sub helps a ton. So like usual, I'm going to simulate through the first 10 games, and we'll see how this team's looking. Through the first 10, we're similar to last season, starting off 7-2-1, but we continue to roll and we continue to dominate, going 13-2 over our next 15, and we're currently sitting at a 24-1 record. Through 50 games, this team's unstoppable, 37-11-2, first in the Atlantic and first in the entire league. David Pasternak's leading the way with 20 goals and 33 assists for 53 points. Patrick Laine is coming in second with 24 goals and 28 assists for 52 points, and Brad Lambert's going to round up the top 3 with 51 points, consisting of 17 goals and 34 assists. Thomas Chabot's leading the defense like usual with 44 points, consisting of 12 goals and 32 assists, while Sorokin's picked up 26 wins with a 906 save percentage and a 281 goals against. Now what you're about to watch is some true GM skills. I'm going to trade a 4th leg and 2 7ths to Toronto for Dumoulin, and then I'm going to give Norlander a 7-year extension worth $1.9 million per year. Like I did earlier, if this guy develops and becomes a solid player for us at $1.9 million, that's going to be a steal. But then Dumoulin got claimed on waivers, so everything I traded for him basically was voided. So that was a really dumb move. And with that dumb move in the books, we'll simulate over to the trade deadline and then probably make another stupid move. Over the next 10 games, this team is looking pretty solid, going 7-3. Now this move I don't think is stupid at all. 2/3 and a prospect to the Blues for Buchnevich. With that trade in the books, we'll simulate to the end of the season, and of course, we're going to finish first in the league. When the season came to an end, we're finishing with a 55-22-5 record. We're first in the Atlantic Division and first in the entire league. Pasta led the way with 91 points, consisting of 35 goals and 56 assists, while Suzuki's picking up 23 goals and 57 assists for 80 points, and Brad Lambert, he's doing the exact same thing. Thomas Chabot was fantastic this year, picking up 15 goals and 49 assists for 64 points, while Sorokin's picking up 41 wins with a 912 save percentage and a 260 goals against. Connor McDavid led the entire league in points with 53 goals and 58 assists for 111 points. Kyle Connor's coming in second with 54 goals and 44 assists for 98 points, and Mitch Marner's rounding out the top 3 with 96 points, consisting of 29 goals and 67 assists. And John Carlson's going to lead all defensemen in points with 15 goals and 61 assists for 76 points. Luukkonen's going to lead all goaltenders in wins with 48, while posting a 920 save percentage and a 236 goals against. In the first round, we're going to be matching up with the Toronto Maple Leafs once again. 2 Hoffman goals are helping us take game 1, but 3 unanswered in the third from Toronto is going to even up the series. 2 third period goals are giving the Leafs a 2-1 lead, and then 5 unanswered from Toronto is going to put the Canadiens on the brink of elimination. And in game 5, Toronto scoring 3 in the third period to eliminate Montreal for the 2nd year in a row. When the playoffs came to an end, the Arizona Coyotes are beating the Hurricanes in 7 to win the Stanley Cup. At least Carey Price got a ring, but I can't believe Arizona won a cup before us. Leading the team in postseason points was Nick Suzuki with 4 assists for 4 points. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, San Jose is going to be getting the first overall pick once again. We had 4 picks in this draft, but nothing notable happened. We sent the 92nd overall pick and the 188th to Buffalo for the 84th, and with that pick, we selected a low top 4 potential defenseman. Like usual, we signed rookies and qualified RFAs. And then we made some moves. Connor Geeky, 6-year deal worth 6.6 per. Soderstrom, you're off to Colorado for a 2nd and a 7th. Larson, you're going to the Ducks for 2/3. And then I'm going to package up a 2nd, a 3rd, and a prospect to the Islanders for Pelech. Palat's going to come here on a 1-year deal worth $1.3 million, and Ilya Mikheyev's coming here for $800K for 1 year. Sorokin and a prospect's off to Seattle for Saros and Barbashev. Honestly, I just wanted to shake up the team, and I thought starting with a goaltender wouldn't be a bad idea. So expectations are sky high for this team. Getting past the first round isn't enough anymore. This team needs a Stanley Cup. So like usual, we're simming through the first 10 games, and we're hoping to go 10-0. Clearly, this team didn't start 10-0, but we were actually below 500 with a 4-4-2 record. But over the next 15, we stepped it up, going 11-4, and we're sitting at a 15-8-2 record. I thought this team was underperforming a bit, so I'm trading Nolan Patrick to the Tampa Bay Lightning for Chernak in a 4th, and then Kupanin's getting a 5-year extension worth $8.5 million per year. Through the first 50 games, we're looking pretty solid, a 33-14-3 record, 1st in the Atlantic and 3rd in the entire league. Line A's leading the way with 27 goals and 22 assists for 49 points, and Past is tied with him with 49 points, consisting of 24 goals and 25 assists. Chabot's going to round out the top 3 with 10 goals and 37 assists for 47 points, and that means he's also leading our defense, while Saros is picking up 27 wins with a .910 save percentage and a .255 goals against. With the trade deadline approaching, I gotta make some moves because this team needs to win now. Over the next 11 games, we are looking fantastic, going 9-2. I'm going to send a 2nd, a 3rd, and a prospect to Winnipeg for Vesalainen. And with that move in the books, we're simming to the end of the season and hoping to win a Stanley Cup. When the season came to an end, we're finishing with a 54-24-4 record, 1st in the Atlantic Division and 1st in the entire league. Brad Lambert led the way with 81 points, consisting of 18 goals and 63 assists. Pasta wasn't too far behind with 80 points, consisting of 38 goals and 42 assists, while Suzuki's rounding out the top 3 with 17 goals and 58 assists for 75 points. Thomas Chabot's tied with Suzuki with 75 points, but he's leading the defense with 13 goals and 62 assists, while Saros is picking up 44 wins with a .912 save percentage and a .250 goals against. This season, Patrick Kane's going to lead everyone in scoring with 44 goals and 58 assists for 102 points. McDavid's coming in 2nd with 35 goals and 62 assists for 97 points, and Rantanen's picking up 93 points with 35 goals and 58 assists. Thomas Chabot's leading all defensemen in points, but we already know what his numbers are, and Sorokin, he's leading goaltenders in wins, and we already know what his numbers are. The Devils are going to take game 1 with an all-mark shutout. Yeah, we're playing the New Jersey Devils, forgot to mention that. Montreal is going to dominate game 2 with a 9-1 win to even up the series, and the Canadiens continue their dominance with a 6-0 win in game 3. New Jersey avoids falling to a 3-1 deficit with a shutout of their own, and then a 3-1 Montreal win puts us 1 game away from the 2nd round, but then an OT winner from Kukanen in game 6 is forced in game 7. And in game 7, the Devils are scoring 6 goals and eliminating Montreal in the 1st round once again. At this point, we're becoming the new Toronto Maple Leafs. Line A led the way with 9 points, but who cares, we got bounced in the 1st round once again. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, Winnipeg's jumping from 10-1. We had 5 picks in this draft, but we made some massive moves. Cole Caulfield's off to Tampa for the 30th overall and the 94th, then Suzuki's off to Ottawa for a medium elite defenseman, and then we took on Skinner's contract. We're going to flip Skinner's contract along with 2/3 to Minnesota for a 4th, and then 2 firsts and a 4th is up to Minnesota for Rossi. And out of our 5 picks, the most notable prospect was a medium elite potential goalie. So like usual, of course, we're signing rookies and qualifying RFAs. Chernak's coming back on a 6-year deal worth $3.2 million per year. Vesalainen's getting $5.6 million per year for the next 5, but he's going to get traded pretty soon. Primu's getting a 2-year deal at $1.6, and Strom's getting 8 years at $1 million per. If this guy develops, that's going to be another massive steal for us. I like doing these risky contracts because if they work out for us, it helps us a ton, and if it doesn't, normally I'm able to trade that player before it becomes a burden for us. And like I said earlier, Vesalainen's getting traded soon, and I'm trading him right now to Chicago for 2 seconds. One of those seconds is going to go to Toronto for Sonny Milano, and then the other second's going to Detroit for Suter and a 3rd. Milano didn't really fit on any of our lines, so I'm going to send him to the Rangers for a 3rd and a 4th, and then a 4th is going to Columbus for Greenway, and a 3rd is going to the Penguins for Lawton. So there's no more excuses for this team. We changed up part of our forward core, hoping for some results, and let's get past the 1st round this year. I don't even think a cup is in question. But before I get the season underway, Brooke, I'm going to give you a 2-year deal worth $950K. So let's go ahead and simulate through the first 10 games, but I don't care how we perform perform in the regular season. The playoffs are where it matters. Through the first 10, we're just above average with a 6-4 record, and over the next 15, I know we could have played better, going to only 9-6, and we're currently sitting at a 15-10 record. Through 50 games, we are finally starting to play to our potential, as we're sitting with a 34-16 record. We're second in the Atlantic and fourth in the entire league. Anthony Duclair is currently leading the way with 49 points, consisting of 17 goals and 32 assists. Rossi's coming in second with 7 goals and 40 assists for 47 points, and Patrick Laine is rounding out the top 3 with 25 goals and 20 assists for 45 points. Thomas Chabot, of course, is leading the defense with 31 points, consisting of 12 goals and 19 assists, while Saros is picking up 27 wins with a 911 save percentage and a 253 goals against. So heading into the trade deadline, we gotta make a big move here because we need to get out of the first round. Over the next 11, we underperformed immensely, going 6-5. So I'm making a big move, sending a first to Philly for Patrick Kane, and then Greenway, you're gonna go to Dallas for a fourth and Martineau. So that move for Kane was probably one of my dumbest trades, as we don't even have enough cap space for him. So hopefully that's not gonna cost us. We'll simulate to the end of the season, and hopefully we can finish out strong. When the season came to an end, we're looking pretty good with a 55-26-1 record, first in the Atlantic and second in the entire league. Patrick Laine led the way with 40 goals and 39 assists for 79 points. Anthony Duclair is coming in second with 27 goals and 47 assists for 74 points, and Pass is tied with Duclair for 74 points, consisting of 23 goals and 51 assists. Thomas Chabot's leading the defense with 60 points, consisting of 20 goals and 40 assists, while Saros is picking up 42 wins with a 914 save percentage and a 242 goals against. Taking a look at the entire league, Nathan MacKinnon's leading the way with 60 goals and 50 assists for 110 points. Martiner's coming in second with 26 goals and 70 assists for 96 points, and Matthews is rounding out the top 3 with 95 points, consisting of 51 goals and 44 assists. Leading all defensemen in points is Ray Hawes with 20 goals and 48 assists for 68 points, and John Gibson, 43 wins with a 918 save percentage and a 231 goals against. In the first round, we're taking on the Philadelphia Flyers, but this should be easy for us. They don't even have Patrick Kane. So Philly's taking game 1 5-3, and then they continue to roll, taking game 2 4-2, and they got a 2-0 series lead. This is starting to get out of hand as they're taking game 3 and we're on the brink of getting swept. But I refuse to fold with this team. I don't care we got swept. We're going to be back next season and we're going to win a Stanley Cup. Don't mark my words though, because we'll be lucky to get out of the first round. You might as well call us Toronto though, because we can't get out of the first round. Kupanen, you had 3 points. Don't care. We lost in 4. Looking at the draft lottery results, Calgary's jumping from 7-1. We had 6 picks in the draft and we did not too bad, drafting a low elite potential center and a low elite potential right winger. Of course, we're signing rookies and RFAs, but we gotta make some moves. Penner, I'm giving you an 8-year deal worth $2 million per. He's a medium elite potential goalie, and if he becomes an elite goalie, that's gonna be a fantastic contract. Niku, you're off to Arizona for a 4th and a 5th. Norlander, you're off to the Wild for a 4th and a 5th. Suter, you're going to Boston for a 3rd and a 4th. And then Mark Stone, you're coming here on a 1-year deal worth $7.2 million. Hayton, $850K for 1 year. Comtois, $900K for 1 year. Chabot, 7 years at $10.6 million per. Chernak, you're off to Nashville for 2/3. Lamb, $2 million per year for the next 4. Brook, a 3rd, and a medium elite potential goalie is going to the Blues for Leopold. And then Leopold, I'm giving you a 4-year deal worth $4.4 million per year. So just get past the first round. I'm not even expecting success at this point. All this team is showing is failure. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate through the first 10 games, and I really don't care how we do. We just need to perform in the playoffs. Through the first 10, we're not looking too bad with a 6-3-1 record, and over the next 15, we were great, 12-2-1, and we're currently sitting at an 18-5-2 record. Through 50 games, we're sitting at a 33-14-3 record, second in the Atlantic and third in the entire league. David Pasternak's leading the way with 21 goals and 23 assists for 44 points. Patrick Laine is coming in not too far behind with 42 points, consisting of 19 goals and 23 assists, while Brad Lambert's rounding out the top 3 with 8 goals and 29 assists for 37 points. Thomas Chabot once again is leading the defense with 5 goals and 22 assists for 27 points, while UC Saros has picked up 29 wins with a 915 save percentage and a 247 goals against. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate up to the trade deadline, and we got to make a massive move here. We got to do something in order for this team to win. Over the next 11 games, we are near perfect, going 8-2-1, but we got to make a move. So Pelech, a 1st, a 3rd, and a 4th is off to Dallas for Sergachev, and then a prospect, a 3rd, a 2nd, and a 6th is going to Chicago for Kirby Dach. With those 2 moves in the book, we're sitting to the end of the season and hoping to finish 1st overall. When the season came to an end, sadly, we weren't first. We finished with a 57-20-5 record, second in the Atlantic and second in the entire league. Pasta led the way with 38 goals and 41 assists for 79 points. Laine's picking up 35 goals and 40 helpers for 75 points, and Lambert's picking up 67 points with 13 goals and 54 assists. Thomas Chabot's picking up 43 points with 8 goals and 35 assists, while UC Saros is picking up 48 wins with a .917 save percentage and a .237 goals against. Austin Matthews led the entire league in points with 58 goals and 44 assists for 102 points. Nylander's picking up 33 goals and 67 assists for 100 points, and Leon Draisaitl is going to round out the top three with 43 goals and 50 assists for 93 points. Haas is leading all defensemen once again with 77 points, consisting of 25 goals and 52 assists, while Nedeljkovic is tied with Saros for wins with 48, while posting a .920 save percentage and a .231 goals against. In the first round, we're going to be taking on the Florida Panthers. Montreal is coming out strong in game 1 with a 6-4 win, and 3 unanswered in the third period is giving us a 2-0 series lead. Alright, all we have to do is win one more game. There's no way you guys can screw this up, right? And in game 4, Montreal is completing the sweep and finally making it to the second round. And in the second round, they're matching up against their arch rivals in the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2 Pasta goals in the second period is going to lead to a 5-3 win, but Toronto's going to answer in game 2 with a 5-3 win of their own. And Austin Matthews hat-tricks giving Toronto a 2-1 series lead, but 3 unanswered from Montreal is evening the series at 2 games apiece. Once again, 3 unanswered is putting the Canadiens 1 game away from the conference finals, and in game 6, an OT winner from Lambert is sending us to the conference finals. In the conference finals, we're going to be matching up against the Pittsburgh Penguins. An OT winner from Sammy Blais giving Pittsburgh game 1, and then a late goal from Kapanen is putting the Penguins up 2-0. And in game 3, a monster 8-goal game from the Penguins is putting Montreal on the brink of elimination. Montreal is going to be able to avoid elimination in game 4 with a 4-0 shutout, and game 5 in a big 6-2 win. And in game 6, Montreal is going to dominate with an 8-goal game, and they're forcing game 7. In game 7, Montreal is going to complete the impossible 3-0 series comeback to reach the Stanley Cup final. So here we are at the Stanley Cup final. The Montreal Canadiens are taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Montreal is taking game 1 4-2, and the Canadiens continue to roll, taking game 2 3-2. However, 3 unanswered from the Ducks is going to help them avoid falling to a 3-0 deficit. A win in game 4 from Anaheim is going to help them even up the series, and the Ducks continue to roll, taking game 5 6-3. Montreal is going to be able to force the game 7 though with a 2-0 shutout, and in game 7, the Ducks are shutting us out and they're winning the Stanley Cup. The fact that we got this far hurts a ton. This team struggled for years, and we finally make it to game 7, and we couldn't close it out. In the playoffs, Patrick Laine led the way with 14 goals and 12 assists for 26 points. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, Calgary's going to jump from 5-1 and get the first overall pick. In the draft, we had 8 picks, but 2 of those picks came from Vancouver as we traded Duclair to the Canucks, the 121st overall and the 185th. Some of the notable prospects were a medium elite potential goalie, a low elite potential defenseman, and a low elite potential left winger. So like usual, we're signing rookies and qualifying RFAs. Alright, I can't pronounce this name, but he's getting 4 years at 2.4 per year. Romanov, he's getting 6 years at 6.2 million. Middlestat, 950k per year for 1 year. Nichushkin, 2 years at 1 million. Sergachev, you're going to Vegas for Lehtinen and Comper. 4 fourths and a fifth is going to Philly for a second. I'm going to flip that second to the Ducks for 2/3 and a fourth. Then Saros, 2/3 and a sixth is off to Ottawa for Tkachuk. And then Tkachuk and a third is going to the Rangers for Shesterkin, Schwartz, and a second. Yeah, we made a few moves. So finally, after many years, the team's finally playing up to potential. Now that I know this team can compete with the best in the league, it's time to go and win a cup. So like usual, we'll simulate through the first 10 games and see how we're looking. Through the first 10, we struggled a bit, going 5-4-1. On our way to the 25 game mark, I decided to give Rossi a 4-year extension worth $9 million per year. Over the next 15 games, we were almost perfect, going 13-1-1, and we're currently sitting at an 18-5-2 record. Through 50 games, this team's looking unstoppable, 36-11-3, first in the Atlantic and first in the entire league. Rossi's leading the way with 44 points, consisting of 7 goals and 37 assists. Lambert's picking up 8 goals and 35 assists for 43 points, while Patrick Laine is picking up 25 goals and 16 assists for 41 points. Shattenkirk's leading the defense with 9 goals and 28 assists for 37 points, and Shesterkin's picked up 29 wins with a .933 save percentage and a .199 goals against. So this is our year to win, so I'm simming up to the trade deadline, and we're going all in. Over the next 14, we were almost perfect, once again going 12-0-2. So we gotta make a massive move if we want to win. So 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a third is off to Dallas for Heiskanen. With that move made, we're gonna simulate to the end of the season and go win ourselves a Stanley Cup. When the season came to an end, we're finishing with a 59-17-6 record, first in the Atlantic Atlantic Division and first in the entire league. Patrick Laine is leading the way with 70 points, consisting of 44 goals and 26 assists. Rossi's picking up 9 goals and 61 helpers for 70 points, and Past is rounding out the top 3 with 33 goals and 35 assists for 68 points. Shattenkirk's leading the defense with 13 goals and 40 assists for 53 points, and Shesterkin's picking up 48 wins with a 926 save percentage and a 215 goals against. Looking at the entire league, Connor McDavid's leading the way with 116 points, consisting of 48 goals and 68 assists. Nathan MacKinnon's coming in second with 47 goals and 54 assists, while Draisaitl is picking up 101 points as well with 45 goals and 56 assists. Quinn Hughes is leading all defensemen with 13 goals and 63 assists for 76 points, and Shesterkin, he's leading all goaltenders in wins, but we already know what his numbers are. In the first round, we're taking on the Ottawa Senators. An OT winner from Laine is helping Montreal take game 1, and then an OT winner from Pasta is giving Montreal game 2. The Canadiens continue to roll, pushing Ottawa to the brink of elimination, and in game 4, Montreal is completing the sweep. In the second round, we're matching up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa's coming out strong in game 1 with a 3-2 win, and 2 third-period goals from Montreal is going to even up the series at 1 game apiece. An OT winner from Leighton is giving Montreal a 2-1 series lead, but Tampa's responding in game 4 with a 3-2 win. An OT winner from James Schwartz is putting Montreal 1 game away from the conference finals, and in game 6, 5 unanswered from the Canadiens is sending us to the conference finals. In the conference finals, we're matching up against the Florida Panthers. Montreal is coming out strong in game 1 with a 6-3 win, and the Canadiens continue to roll, taking game 2 4-3. Nothing can stop Montreal as they're putting Florida on the brink of elimination, and in game 4, a Leighton and OT winner is sending us back to the Stanley Cup final. This time in the Stanley Cup final, we're matching up against the Seattle Kraken. Montreal continues to roll, taking game 1 5-4, but Seattle's responding in game 2 with a close 3-2 win. A Shesterkin shutout in game 3 is giving us a 2-1 series lead, and then 4 unanswered in the third puts Montreal 1 game away from hoisting the Stanley Cup. And in game 5, the Montreal Canadiens are finally Stanley Cup champions once again. This team's been through a ton, but we still have time to win a few more cups. Brad Lambert led the way in points with 21, consisting of 6 goals and 15 assists, while Shesterkin picked up 16 wins with a 917 save percentage and a 239 goals against. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, Boston's jumping from 3-1. We had 6 picks in the draft, and I ended up trading Heiskanen to the Islanders for 2/3, even though his contract expired, so that was a steal for us. And then 2/3 and a 5th is off to Chicago for the 72nd overall pick, and then the 70th pick, a depth piece, and a prospect is off to the Rangers for the 39th. So it was a decent draft for us as we got a low elite potential right winger, a medium elite potential goalie. The 147th pick along with the 7th went to San Jose for the 129th, and with that pick we got a medium elite potential goalie. So like usual, signing rookies and qualifying RFAs, but we also have to make a few moves to stay under the cap. Strome, I'm giving you a 1-year deal worth $1.5 million. A medium elite potential goalie is off to Vegas for a 2nd and a 4th. Shabbat and a 2nd's off to Tampa for a medium elite potential defenseman, Joseph and Thompson. This move was strictly to stay under the cap, but this medium elite potential defenseman is going to be a huge piece for us. Joseph's off to the Avs for a 5th and a 6th, and then Thompson's off to the Caps for a 6th and a 7th. A medium elite potential goalie is going to the Penguins for Connor Timmins, and then Zach Sanford's coming here for 1 year at $800K. So we finally won a Stanley Cup, but I'm not satisfied yet. Let's go win another. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate through the first 10, and we'll see how this team's looking. Through the first 10, we're looking pretty solid with a 7-3 record. And this is the reason I trade Shabbat. Shattenkirk, I'm going to have to sign you for 4 years for $11.6 million per year. Over the next 15, we were just okay with a 9-3-3 record, so we're currently sitting at a 16-6-3 record. Through 50 games, we're looking great. A 32-13-5 record, first in the Atlantic and second in the entire league. Brad Lambert is currently leading the way with 17 goals and 36 assists for 53 points. Rossi's picked up 8 goals and 39 assists for 47 points, and Kupanen's picked up 27 goals and 17 assists for 44 points. There's a high probability I've pronounced his name wrong this entire time, but we're just going to roll with it at this point. Shattenkirk, he's picked up 2 goals and 23 assists for 25 points, while Shesterkin's picked up 22 wins with a 912 save percentage and a 240 goals against. So I think this team can win another Stanley Cup, so we're slimming up to the trade deadline and we're making some moves. Over the next 13, we're looking great with a 9-4 record, but I know we can do better. So I'm trading a 1st round pick, a medium elite potential goalie, and Connor Timmins to the Kings for Clark. With that move in the books, we're simming to the end of the season and looking to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. When the season came to an end, we finished with a 54-21-7 record, first in the Atlantic and second in the entire league. Brad Lambert led the way with 23 goals and 61 assists for 84 points. Pasta's picking up 35 goals and 46 help helpers for 81 points, and Kupanen's rounding out the top 3 with 79 points, consisting of 46 goals and 33 helpers. Shattenkirk led the defense with 6 goals and 46 assists for 52 points, while Shesterkin's picking up 38 wins with a .911 save percentage and a .245 goals against. Leading the entire league in points was Austin Matthews with 106 points, consisting of 54 goals and 52 assists, and Leon Draisaitl, he was actually tied with Matthews with 106 points, consisting of 52 goals and 54 assists, while Connor McDavid wasn't too far behind with 44 goals and 60 helpers for 104 points. Cale Makar is once again leading the defensive points with 15 goals and 62 assists for 70 points, while Tarasov is leading all goaltenders in wins with 50 while posting a .918 save percentage and a .244 goals against. For the second year in a row, we're going to be matching up against the Ottawa Senators in round number 1. 2 first period goals is all we need, and Montreal's taking game 1, and then 2 pass to goals is helping us take a 2-0 series lead. 2 unanswered in the third is putting Ottawa on the brink of elimination, but Ottawa is avoiding elimination in game 4 with a 3-1 win and game 5 with a 6-2 win. But in game 6, 3 unanswered is sending us to the second round. In the second round, we're matching up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa's taking a close game 1 4-3, and an OT winner from Shabbat is putting Tampa up 2 games to none. Montreal avoids falling to a 3-0 deficit with a monster 8-2 win, and another high-scoring game from the Canadiens is evening the series at 2 games apiece. 3 unanswered in game 5 puts Tampa on the brink of elimination, but Tampa scoring 4 in game 6 and they're forcing game 7. And in game 7, Montreal scoring 4 and we're off to the conference finals. In the conference finals, we're matching up against the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are taking game 1 3-1. 2 Clark goals in game 2 evens up the series, and 4 first period goals is too much to overcome, and Montreal's taking game 3. Carolina responds in game 4 with a huge 6-goal game, and in game 5, Carolina's putting Montreal on the brink of elimination. 2 pass to goals is helping Montreal avoid elimination and force game 7, and in game 7, a Kupanen hat-trick is sending us to the Stanley Cup final once again. So we've reached the Stanley Cup final for the 3rd year in a row now. We know what has to get done, and let's win ourselves a Stanley Cup. Montreal's taken an important game 1 5-3. Vancouver responds in game 2 with an OT winner, and in game 3, the Canadiens are winning a close one 5-3. Laine is going to pot 2 goals in game 4, and that's going to put the Canucks on the brink of elimination, and in game 5, 7 goals from the Canadiens are enough to win the Stanley Cup. But we're not done here. We have 1 season to go, and we have 1 more Stanley Cup to win. Patrick Laine led the team in postseason scoring with 28 points, consisting of 13 goals and 15 assists. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, Florida's going to jump from 2-1. We had 3 picks in the draft, and our best prospect ended up being a low top 4 potential defenseman. Like usual, we're signing rookies and qualifying RFAs, and we got to make a few moves here because we have to stay under the cap once again. Lapierre is coming here on a 1-year deal worth $1.7 million per year. Pasta, I'm sorry, but you got to go to the Flames for 2-2, a second, and a third. This move is strictly to free up cap space, but 2-2's got some potential here, so he could be good for us. Clark, I'm going to offer you a 7-year deal worth $11.5 million per year, but he decided that wasn't enough, so he's off to Edmonton, but I'm not going to settle for that. A first, a second, a third, a sixth, and a prospect's going to Vegas for Shea Theodore, and then I'm flipping Shea Theodore along with a 4th to Edmonton for Clark. I want to keep him on this team. Tarasenko, I'm bringing you back for 1 more year at $1.8 million, and then a 3rd, a 7th, and this guy, still can't pronounce his name, is off to Tampa for 2 seconds. 2 seconds and a 3rd is off to Ottawa for Malik, and then 2/3, a 4th, and a 5th is off to the Ducks for Nukelin. And the final move is going to be Korpisalo on a 1-year deal worth $1.15 million per year. So here we are, year 10. We've come a long way, but we still have 1 more Stanley Cup to win. So for the final time in this video, I'm going to simulate through the first 10 games and we'll see how this team's looking. Through the first 10, we're not looking too great, sitting at a 5-5 record. Over the next 15, we stepped it up, going 10-5, and we're currently sitting at a 15-10-0 record. Through 50 games, we're not looking too bad, a 32-16-2 record, 1st in the Atlantic and 4th in the entire league. Rossi's leading the way with 58 points, consisting of 9 goals and 49 helpers. Laine's coming in second with 24 goals and 27 assists for 51 points, and Leopold's picked up 44 points, consisting of 15 goals and 29 assists. Clark's leading the defense with 6 goals and 23 helpers for 29 points, while Shesterkin's picked up 24 wins with a .914 save percentage and a .240 goals against. Heading into the trade deadline, I honestly don't know of any moves we can actually make because we don't really have too many assets left. I traded most of them in free agency. Over the next 12 games, we're looking pretty solid with an 8-3-1 record. And like I said earlier, we don't have too many assets to flip, so I'm making no trades. And with no trades being done, I'm simming to the end of the season, and we'll see how this team finishes. When the season came to an end, we're sitting at an impressive 52-36-4 record, 1st in the Atlantic and 3rd in the entire league. Rossi led the way with 15 goals and 73 assists for 88 points. Laine is coming in second with 83 points, consisting of 39 goals and 44 helpers, while Leopold's rounding out the top 3 with 26 goals and 48 assists for 74 points. Clark's leading the defense with 50 points, consisting of 9 goals and 41 assists, while Shesterkin's picked up 41 wins with a .909 save percentage and a .253 goals against. Connor McDavid's leading the entire league in points with 39 goals and 69 assists for 108 points. McIntyre's coming in second with 63 goals and 43 assists for 106 points, and Leon Draisaitl's rounding out the top three with 105 points, consisting of 46 goals and 59 helpers. Once again, Cale Makar is leading all defensemen in points with 9 goals and 63 assists for 72 points, while Tarasov's picking up 45 wins with a .911 save percentage and a .259 goals against. In the first round, we're taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. Montreal is coming out hot in game 1 with a 6-4 win, but Philly's able to even the series in game 2 with a 5-0 win. An OT winner from Provorov is putting Philly up 2-1, and Montreal avoids falling to a 3-1 deficit with a 7-3 win. In game 5, Philly's scoring 4, and that's putting Montreal on the brink of elimination. And in game 6, the 10-year rebuild has come to an end. Honestly, that was a tough way to go out, but at least we got 2 rings, because at one point it was looking grim. So thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. But if you watched this entire video and haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing.